All right, so for today's class, we're going to be going over some of the awesome features that you have available to you for marketing within Command. So to get started, I am at agent.kw.com. And we're going to go ahead and get signed in. I will give you a moment to do the same. All right, so we are signed into Command. I'm on the homepage of agent.kw.com. And before we jump into some marketing today, we need to go into our settings to adjust a couple things. So we're going to click on our name up at the top right. And then click Settings. This is going to bring us into our application settings. There are a few apps that I want to point out for today's class that you want to make sure are connected before you create any marketing or send out any campaigns, anything like that in Command. So up toward the top, you will see apps that are currently connected. You can see we have our Facebook for post scheduling connected already. We are going to be touching on post scheduling today. And let me scroll down and show you a few more apps. So down below, if you're setting this up for the first time, you would see Facebook under this section under social as well. Basically in Command, in campaigns, there's a feature that's similar to Hootsuite if you've ever used that before. I'll be showing you how you can schedule your social media posts ahead of time. And if you are wanting to schedule social media posts on Twitter or Facebook, you will want to make sure your accounts are connected here in this application section. So all you would need to do is go down to the app you'd like to connect, for example, Twitter for post scheduling. If I click Connect Account, all it'll do is it will prompt me to sign in. I can enter my Twitter username and password. And then that will connect with Command and I'll be able to use the post scheduling feature. If we keep scrolling down, we're going to see Facebook and Twitter again. This is actually for something else. You also have the option to run ads through Command. We will very briefly touch on this. It is in the campaign section, but we actually just added a new class solely for Facebook ads. So if you're interested in running Facebook ads through Command, check out that class. We taught it for the first time this week, and that'll be an ongoing class. So you can actually watch and review that class we taught this week on slmtraining.com. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the chat for you now. And then, so this is for business pages. Somebody asked, are we able to connect Facebook business pages? So what you'll do is you will actually connect your personal account, but this is going to be posting for the post scheduling on your business page, and then the ads will be run through your business page. So even though you're signing in and connecting your personal account, it's for the account that's tied to your business page. But I do want to drop slmtraining.com in our chat just so you guys have that. If you want to watch this class, which I'm currently recording, or any of our other classes, check out that page on our website. And Scott has our Facebook ads class posted there as well. And then down toward the bottom, these are going to be important for today as well. We have the email services section. So these are related to how you're going to send out emails through Command, whether that's through a smart plan, which we're not going to go over today, but email campaigns as well. Previously, we only had the option to send through MailChimp, which you still can do. But in order to send emails to your MailChimp database, you would also have to have your contacts in MailChimp itself. So they more recently came out with this Command email feature where you can send email campaigns directly to the people that are already in your Command database. This is also going to act as your reply to email for anything you send out in Command. So if you send out a smart plan or an email campaign, if you receive any responses to that, this is going to designate where those responses go. So I'm going to click Manage next to Command Email. And we're going to set up this email configuration. So sender name, this would be your name in this box, and then you'll see Reply to Email. We have a few choices here. It has your White Pages email, KW email, your recovery email on White Pages, and your marketing profile email. So you basically want to select whatever your email is you're using for business, or you can add in a custom email if one of these choices is not what you're currently using. You can also keep an eye on your account usage down below. You can see you get 5,000 free emails per month in Command. You can see we've used 3 out of 5,000 of those, but you can keep track of that. And then if you need more emails, you can manage your subscription here. But once you change this, you can click Save Changes, and that'll update right away. There's one other section I want to point out real briefly before we jump in and start creating things. If we click Connect Settings over on the left, let's also then click Marketing Profile. So if you've gone through and filled out our questionnaire, we will set up this section for you, but it's good to touch base with your marketing profile before you set up anything in Command, because a lot of places, this is where it's going to pull your personal information. So if you scroll down, you'll see items like your name, your photo, your logo. Of course, anything with this little red star is going to be required. So you'll want to just take a quick look at this and make sure that this section is filled out as best as you can. And then we'll jump in and create some marketing. And yeah, somebody asked, can we put in our Gmail as well in that Command email section? Definitely. That's going to be whatever your preferred email for your business is. So if you need help, most likely your preferred email should be one of those choices. So if you're having to add a custom email, we probably need to update your preferred email in all locations. So if you need help with that, there's quite a few places to update your email between MyKW and Command. So if you need help with that, shoot us an email and we can make sure your email address is consistent in all locations. Somebody, let's see. I'm going to put in this at the SLM training link. So slmtraining.com, that'll take you to all of our previously recorded training classes. All right, so let's actually switch gears and go into the design section. So over on the far left side of our screen, this is our widget menu. These are all the different widgets and sections in Command. And while you're learning what these different icons are and what they do, you can actually click on the KW at the top left, and that'll show you the names of each section. So to get started, let's go ahead and click on Designs. The icon looks like a little paintbrush. This brings us into the My Design Templates section. This is basically a library of any saved pieces or pieces you've created in the past. You can sort through them by selecting email, landing page, social, print, agent site, or video. So these are all of your pieces you've created previously, and you'll actually edit your agent site pages here as well. To create a new piece, we're going to click on the plus sign down at the bottom right. And then we have these choices: email, social, print, video, or there's actually a really cool feature in Command where you can import a PDF, and it will allow you to edit that PDF. So if you've ever used like Adobe Acrobat Pro, it allows you to edit the elements on a PDF. Command has that feature as well. For today, I'm going to click Social. We also have the option to import photos and text from a listing. So if you click on this box and hit Next, it'll allow you to search for your listing in KWLS. I'm going to skip over that for now. We can actually add in that step later. So I'm going to click Social and then Next. This is going to refresh for us. And then take us into a site called WeBrand. All right, so this is going to show us all of the different marketing templates we have available to us. So previously you had to basically go all the way back if you wanted to see print pieces versus social pieces. Those are actually all together now, which is really great. But before we go through and I start to show you some of the awesome templates and we go in and create something, I actually want to show you the brand assets section first. So we're going to click on brand assets. Previously, this is what was called the library in designs. Now it's called brand assets. So this is basically a library of any images you're going to be using frequently, colors, fonts that you use for your branding. You really want to go in and make sure that this section is updated because it's going to be really easy for you to create these pieces and pull items from the brand assets section. So for example, when I click on brand assets, it first brings me into colors and fonts. Maybe you have specific colors that you're using for your branding or even specific fonts. You can add in those colors here. You can add in a whole different color palette if you'd like. You can select those fonts. If you have those fonts saved to your computer, you can upload them here. For logos, you can import any logos you may be using. You can see we have our SLM logo as well as some office logos here. Smart text. These are going to be text blocks that you're going to be using frequently. You can see things like we've added in our Facebook, email, slogan, tagline. Some of these feeds will already be here for you and you can basically just click on this ... to edit that. So for example, your name, you can type in your name here. And I'll show you, this will make more sense in practice when we go in and create a piece. I'll show you how easily we can add in these things, and you can add in additional fields by choosing one of these items here. Images, this is where you'd want to upload your headshot or any maybe stock images that you're going to be using frequently. These two are our headshots. It should hopefully load, but when we're in the actual piece, we'll be able to see our headshot. For any of these, if you wanted to upload, say, a new image or a new logo, you would click upload over on the far right. And it will allow you to upload an image from any of these places. So I want to upload an image from my computer, so I'll just click my device. And I have some images here. There we go. And now this has been added to my brand assets. So when I'm creating my piece, I can very easily insert this image into that piece. If you ever need to edit any of these, you can click on this ... You can rename it, duplicate it, view, download, tag this image, or delete it. Elements, this is kind of like clip art. There are some elements in the pieces that you can add in. I'll be showing you those. And then you can add in videos or additional files here as well. So to show you what this actually looks like in practice so it makes a little more sense, let's go back over to templates. And let's go ahead and create a listing piece. So I'm going to click on listings over on the far left and then for sale. And you can see we have quite a few different choices. We have our social pieces here. And then if you scroll down on the far right, we have print pieces as well. So we have social wide. This is going to be for places like Twitter, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, and it does show you the sizing here. Social square, this is going to be great for Instagram. Social stories, this is great for your Instagram and Facebook stories. And then we have some print pieces like door hangers, flyers, standard postcards, and then some brochures as well. So lots and lots of good stuff. I'll be touching on some of these and just give you a little run through of what's available, but let's start by just creating something. So I'm going to go into social wide, and I'll go ahead and just click this first option here. So let's click use. Now, the great thing about these designs is they are really user-friendly. So editing this is really quick, really easy to navigate. Basically, you're just going to click on elements over on the right and edit them. So let's start. I'm just going to jump in. Let's start by changing out this photo. Now, we have a couple different options for changing out this photo. You can see over here on the left, we have a few different sections. Right now, we're in images. It brings you into company images first, and this is where you can find some really great stock images. You can use all of these on your marketing pieces. You can see there's some great photos in here, tons of them. You can go into My Assets. These are those photos I uploaded previously. Or you can add an image from your computer. So if you have this listing image saved on your computer, all you would need to do is click here to browse, and you can import that photo directly. But the cool thing about this is you can actually add in information directly from KWLS. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go down and click KWLS on the left. And I'm going to search for a listing. Now I have a listing pulled up in another window, so let me just get that address. There we go. I'm going to search for my listing over here in this box. And select this over here. Now, there has been an issue recently with listing images actually not loading. But this is normally where you would find that. You would actually be able to import directly from the KWLS. But this is going to be good for us as well for these listing details. But for this photo specifically, I'm going to go back into images. And I will be under add, and I'll just go ahead and upload an image from my computer. So I clicked on this section here. And now it's uploading my image. You can see I selected the photo, and now that image is over here under imported images. So now this is going to be really easy to swap out. I have this photo selected on the right. Now all I need to do is go over to the photo on the left and hit this replace button. When I click replace image, you can see it very quickly swaps that out. That may take a moment to load. It looks a little blurry right now. We'll give that a second to get settled. You can also adjust how this fits into this box. So when I click on this, you'll see this option for reposition. I can actually move this around a little bit and make the crop a little better. All right, we're going to give that a moment. Hopefully that'll refresh and not look so pixelated, but that's how you can easily add in an image. Let's switch out this logo as well. You can see there's a logo down on the bottom right. And actually, let's see, it's not letting me select it. There we go. All right, I clicked on this logo down on the bottom right. Now I'm going to go into logos on the far left, and I have a couple options. Here's that My Assets section. These were those logos we added into that My Assets section right before we came into this template. So same sort of process. I can go down to my logo below, hit replace, and it'll add that in. You may need to readjust this. You can see it added in the logo, but if I just scroll up a little bit, it's there. And you can see as I'm moving things around, there are these little grid lines. This helps you make sure that everything is lined up and looking good. I can actually zoom in down at the bottom right as well if you need to get a closer look at things. This photo is looking a little pixelated. I actually added this photo into My Assets. So let's see if I hit replace over here. There we go. And again, I can reposition this. So you can see editing in here is really simple and basically just clicking and editing. So now I want to edit these property details. Let's say I want to switch out this address up at the top right. Of course, I can just double click on this box and start to type. But we also selected our listing in KWLS. So if I go over to KWLS, I have this box selected. I can go into my listing details and find my address. You can see it's right here. It says property address. And it's going to be the same thing. If I click that replace button, it's going to swap out the address. So you may need to do some reformatting. You can see, I'll just go ahead and type in circle. It doesn't have the state displayed, so I always add that in. But you can change this however you'd like. You can move this around. You can change the font. So I'm just double clicking in this box. You have all of these font choices, or you can add in, of course, your own fonts if you have a font that you're using that you like. You can readjust this. So you can see this didn't fit perfectly. So I'm just gonna go through and move some things around. I'll move this little line over and then make this text box bigger. I'll actually move this over a little bit more. And there you go. You can see again, those grid lines are popping up, so everything is perfectly aligned. All right, down here it says built in 2015. So this replace button won't work perfectly every time. So for example, this says built in 2015, and right here it just says 2019. So if I hit replace here, it's going to replace everything in this box with just the date. I'm going to hit back up at the top left. This, for example, it might be easier to just double click in this box and change out the text. Same sort of thing over here. I'm just going to swap out this information real quick. I'm going to locate my listing details over on the left. This is 3-bed, 2.5 bath. So I'm just typing that in. You can see I do have to readjust that text box because it knocked bath down to the second line. So I'll just adjust that, swap out the square feet and the price. Let me find the price over here. There we go. And it looks like something happened up here. This line is not, there we go. All right, so that looks pretty good. You can see I went in and edited this really quickly. I do want to point out for these social media pieces, you do want to keep them pretty simple. You can see it doesn't have my name or my contact information on here. That is because this is going to just be posted on Facebook. So when somebody's looking at your page, they'll be able to see your photo and your info. And then in the body of this post, when we go in and do the post scheduling, I'm going to add in information like the property description. So for these social posts, for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you want to keep the actual image itself pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I do want to point out a couple other things before we actually just go in and save this. I did point out the text My Assets. So when you click on this text box over here on the left, they have some extra little banners that you can add in. Like for example, this says bold. You can add in cool graphics like that. That actually looks good. You can change out the font, what have you. You can also, there are some company text lines, like this says each office is independently owned and operated. And then under My Assets, these are those things that we added in, like our slogan, our tagline. You can add in your bio here, your name. So very easily, if for example I wanted my Facebook page on here, I could grab this text and add it over. And then I can readjust that in whatever way I see fit. But I'm just going to hit back. If you ever need to delete anything, you can just click on that item here. You can hit delete on your keyboard or this trash can button up at the top right. But I want to keep this simple. This looks good to me. Let's go ahead and save this. So up at the top, you can see it says 07FSFB. This is the image name, the file name. So I'll change that. I'll change this to Ironwood FB, so for Facebook. And you can see I didn't do anything, but this, if you saw this little box right here, it does save automatically for you, but you can hit enter and that will save. And now we have a couple options. So we're actually going to go in and post this directly from command. But you can download this image here by going to this little down arrow that'll turn into the download button. If I wanted to, I could save this as a JPEG file and I can go directly to facebook.com and post it that way. I could save this as a PNG. This is really only necessary if you are saving something that has like a transparent background. You'd want to save that as a PNG. Or I can save this as a PDF. So if I was creating a flyer right now or a listing presentation, something that I was going to print, I would want to make sure that this is changed to high resolution print quality, and I can download the PDF here. I'll just download a JPEG so you guys can see what this looks like. But the great thing about these files in here, so let's say I made a flyer, I can download it as a PDF for printing. I could also download it as a JPEG file and post it on Facebook. So these are really interchangeable, which is great. So I just save this as a JPEG to have on my computer, and you can see that looks really good. I can now take that and post it on Facebook. But I'm going to show you how we can post directly from command as well. So this is good to go. I'm going to click done at the top right. And that'll take me back to my design templates. Now, before we switch gears and go into our campaigns to show you how that works, I do want to go back in and just give you a brief overview of everything that's available in the designs. So let's click on that plus sign one more time. Click print. And then next. If you are interested in going over how to make a print piece, it is going to be that same process. But in my Designs 101 class, I teach that I think the second Friday of every month. I go over a social piece and a print piece. If you want more detailed information on actually creating the pieces, check out my Designs 101 class. That's on our SLM training website. But I just want to give you a quick preview of everything you have access to. So you have some pieces on the app. You have some postcards, some social posts. So these are Instagram posts, as well as some flyers. Under listings, there are some listing presentations, and they actually added 3 new templates this week. I really like these. These are really, really nice, really easy to use, very easy to customize. You can add in as many pages as you'd like. You can remove pages. You can add in blank pages to totally customize. So these are really great. And then you can, of course, download that PDF and print it. Again, a lot of these have the same sort of templates for each thing. So we have Facebook posts, Instagram posts, posts for your stories, as well as door hangers, flyers, postcards, and brochures. So you can see for sale, just listed. Under buyer, there are some neighborhood snap pieces. These are going to be good for farming or door knocking. You can actually create custom pieces based on a neighborhood. We have some buyer presentations in here as well. Under lead gen, we have some event invitations, some client love, like thank you notes. Under business basics, you can find business cards, as well as letterhead. So lots of good stuff in here. So let's actually exit out of here. That was just a little preview of these templates that you have access to. I'm going to click on the X at the top right. And that's going to bring us back to my design templates. And you can see here's that Facebook piece we just created in our library. So now we actually want to go in and post this. We want to post this to Facebook. So I'm going to click on this icon here on the left for campaigns. It looks like a little megaphone. This is going to bring us into the campaign section. So in command, we have 2 different types of campaigns. We have free campaigns, and we have paid campaigns. We're not going to be going over paid today, but those paid campaigns would be paid ads. So if I click on paid ads up here at the top, this is where you can set up your Facebook ads, as well as Google ads and Twitter ads. So if you are interested in running advertising campaigns through command, check out that new Facebook ads class that we just taught this week. You can manage your ads through here. This dashboard will show you an overview of any ads that are running, how long they're running, their status, and then basically how they're doing. Also, we have direct mail. You can send out direct mail postcards through command. These are going to be our paid campaigns. So those paid advertising campaigns as well as direct mail postcards. But today we're going to show you those free campaigns. So let's go ahead and click on social posts. This is similar to Hootsuite. If you've ever used Hootsuite before, it's a tool that allows you to schedule social media posts ahead of time. So this is a great resource. We like to say set it and forget it. You can actually go in and maybe schedule all of your social media posts for the week, set that up on a Sunday, and then everything will post out automatically for you for the rest of the week. So on this page, you can get a preview of those posts that are going out. You'd be able to see them here on this calendar. It'll show you your week. These are our live and scheduled posts. You'd be able to see any drafts on this page. Looks like we actually do have a draft here. But let's go ahead and post that piece we just created. So I'm going to click Create a New Campaign at the top right. And let's click Social Post. It's going to bring up a logo real quick and crop that. You can just let that do its thing. And now what we're going to do is we're going to answer these questions over here on the left to build our post over here on the right. So I'm going to skip over text for now and go down to this second section here where we can upload a photo. So we can either upload a photo from our computer or a video. We can also add a link. But I want to post that image we just created. So I'm going to click, make sure that Choose from Designs is selected, and then Browse Design Library. When I click on this, this should look familiar. This is our template library. These are those pieces we've created. And here's that Facebook piece we just made. So I'm going, ooh, I clicked that really quick. Sorry, guys. I'm going to click on that first piece. That's the one we just created. And it's going to basically insert this into the post that we're creating. So we'll give that a moment, let it work. Oh no, it says my design was not ready to use. Okay, let's see if I can choose a different one. Hopefully that sounds like it's just a glitch. Here we go. All right, so I guess because we created that so quickly, it's not ready to be posted. I would say that's a temporary glitch. I have not seen that before. But basically you can select those designs from your library. It is going to ask you to crop it. So right now it's showing a square, but this is a wide piece. So we'll change this to wide and that'll crop perfectly. And there we go. It should be generating over here on the right. I'm not sure why it's not. But I want to use that piece we just created. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload an image from my computer. So I'm going to select Upload Image, and then I'll click this plus sign here. And it's a good thing I saved that because I can import that right here. Same sort of thing. I'll crop this. There we go. I'm going to just go ahead and remove this one. And I'm not sure why it's not generating. Let's add in some text and see if that helps. So like I said, for the image for this Facebook post, that's going to be pretty simple. I don't need too many details on that. But in this text box, I would probably write something like amazing new listing in Gallatin, and then post my property description. So I do have to pull this up in another window really quick. I have my listing pulled up here. And I'll just go ahead and copy and paste this property description. I looked this up in KWLS. There we go. So it should be generating a preview over here on the right. I apologize that it's not. KW is working out on rolling out a bunch of new updates, I think within the next day or so. So hopefully this will be resolved soon, but typically what this would do is you would be building this over on the left and it would give you a preview of this on the right. We'd actually be able to see right here what it would look like. But I have my text here and I would say something like contact today for more information, and then maybe a phone number. All right, so I have my text, and you can add up to 2,200 characters here. My image, DBA logo, this is required. Basically, it's just going to plop a logo on top of this, and it should have already selected that. That's what that little box was when we first got into the ad. So I'll just skip over that for now. If you'd like to include an ownership statement, you can add that in here. That may be required for your office or your board. And then at the very bottom, we have a couple options. We have the option to schedule this post, so schedule it ahead of time, or publish immediately. So I'm going to schedule post, and then I can click on this calendar here to choose exactly what day and time I would like this to go out. So maybe I want this to go out Monday at 10:30 a.m. And I just clicked on these directly and typed in 30 on my keyboard. There's no need to save. You can just click away from this box and you can see that will update. And then we need to select the pages. So this is why we went into the settings at the beginning of class and selected made sure our Facebook was connected for post scheduling. And it says, let's see, it's saying it's having trouble connecting. Okay. I don't know if I know Scott's Facebook information, so I'm not going to type that in, but you would want to make sure that this is connected here, and you would be able to choose which Facebook account or which Facebook page. Maybe if you have multiple pages like Scott does connected to your Facebook account, you would have to select which page this is posting for. So this is going to post on your business page. And then you can either save this as a draft or schedule a post. So when you schedule this will be saved in your drafts until this time that we selected, so Saturday at 10:30 a.m., and then it'll go out. So let's see if I can save this as a draft. It's not letting me connect. All right, so I would just verify. Scott's account was connected in the settings, but it is asking me to connect again here. So I would just verify that those are connected, and then you would be able to either save as a draft or schedule that post. But I'm just gonna hit back to social posts. And once that has been created, you would see that over here. You would see it as a draft. And then once those actually go out, you'd be able to see how many likes it received, how many comments, and how many times it was shared. There are also these quick posts over here on the right. These are posts generated for you by Keller Williams. So let's say you like this one here. You can actually select, you can shuffle these as well to see different designs. So these are posts generated for you. This one looks nice. So I can go ahead and click on this post here. Oh, and it's gonna ask me to connect my Facebook again. So these are just sample posts, and you can actually just use these and post them directly as well. So those are the social posts. Again, it's like post scheduling, similar to Hootsuite, and you can pull over pieces directly from your design library. Now, the other free campaign that you can set up through Command would be emails. So I'm going to click on emails, and I say campaign. This isn't the campaign section, but this is going to be different than what you would typically think is a true campaign. I would say the campaigns are going to be closer to the smart plans in Command. An email campaign is more like a one-time mass email. So over here, you can see your information about emails that you've sent. You can see we have a draft email here. I'd be able to see how many emails went out in the last 30 days, how many they were sent to, and how many views and clicks we got. We also need to set up email lists, and you can manage that from here. So like I said previously, we only had the option to send out email campaigns through MailChimp, which meant your contacts had to be in MailChimp as well. So you had to move them over from Command into MailChimp. But now we can send out emails directly to our contacts in Command. So you do have to set up an email list for that. I'm going to click Configure Lists here. And you can see we have some email lists here. You can choose whether that is your MailChimp or command email. I recommend using command email because if your contacts are already in command, this is going to be the easier option for you. This is that reply to email we set up. And then we can create a list. So I'm going to click create list here. Just put in test 1022. And then you can select contacts from your database. So you can search here by name, email, or neighborhood. I believe searching by tag, unfortunately, was not working at this time, but you would be able to search for contacts by tag. And over here, it is showing tags. So let's just go ahead and test that. There we go. Okay, so it did, and I'm not sure if it pulled up everybody, but you can search by tags here, and you'll see I searched tag, the tag agent, and it pulled up this contact, so I can select that tag, and I can go through and select as many tags or as many contacts as I'd like. Oop, didn't mean to exit out of that. I can select as many contacts as I'd like. You can see I have 2 contacts tagged agent, so the search by tag is not fully working at this time. But you can go through and manually set up your lists, search for contacts. Everyone you select will be added to that email list, and click confirm. So now I just created my email list, and when I go in and actually create an email piece, I will be able to send it to these contacts. So now let's go in and actually create an email. Yeah, so thank you, Cynthia. Great question. You said you're getting some errors. Unfortunately, so KW has been making a lot of changes to command since MegaCamp, and we have seen some errors with the email list as well. So if you are receiving those errors, I believe that's a temporary glitch. You can also try changing your browser or clearing your browser history. Sometimes I'm in Chrome currently, and it does appear to be working, but sometimes, like if Chrome isn't working for you, you can try Firefox or you can try incognito mode. And we have noticed that sometimes one browser will work better when one is not working. So try that out. If you also want to shoot us an email and even send us a screenshot of that error message, we can take a closer look for you and let you know if that is just a known error at this time or if there's something else going on. So shoot us an email. I'll go ahead and drop our email in the chat as well so you guys have it. But at this time, KW is working on just changing a lot of things and making improvements. And we are waiting for some of those solutions as well. So fingers crossed. They were supposed to launch something, I think, maybe tomorrow. So we're hoping that with this new rollout, a lot of these issues will be resolved. So let's go ahead and create a new campaign. So I'm going to click create a new campaign at the top right, and we'll choose email. We need to set up these options for our email campaign name. So I'm going to send out an email about that piece we just created. So let me just double check that address. I'll just call this one 356 Ironwood. My goal is to advertise a listing. You can choose any of these options here. And then where will your campaign run? I'm going to run this through my command email, and we'll click Setup Campaign. All right, so it's going to be that same sort of process where we're going to go through these steps on the left, and it's going to generate our email over here on the right. So general information, we have the campaign name, the channel, so it's going to be sent through command email, and my goal is advertise listing. Now I need to select an account. This is already selected for us. This is our command email. Steps 1 and 2 already done. Step 3, recipients list. So I'm going to select my list here. You can also edit your list through here or create a list. I'm going to click that test list that we just created. This send from, this is our command email. So this is already generated for us. This is what we updated at the beginning of class in that settings section. And then subject. I will say just listed in Gatlinburg, or not Gatlinburg, Gallatin. Here we go. And now we need to create the content. We need to create the body of that email. So I'm going to select design content for your email. So this is going to give us the choice to select either a template from our library. So if we had created an email piece previously, we'd be able to select that here. Let's go ahead and click KWRI templates. Now these are pretty new. They just rolled these out a couple weeks ago, and these are some great email campaign templates. You can see there are things like for sale, featured homes, open house, modern, classic, just sold. So these are, most of them are for listings. You can also just create a new template if you'd like and build an email from scratch. I'm going to use one of these templates today, so I'll just do classic for sale. So I'll just go ahead and click on that. And then somebody asked, how many emails can you send at a time? Oh, is there a limit of people you can add to a list? I don't think so, but you only get 5,000 emails a month. So you would want to basically compare it to that. So I think if you add more than 5,000 people, that email's not going to go out to everybody. So you'll kind of have to weigh those factors there, but I don't believe there is a limit of how many people you can add to a list. All right, so over here on the left, we have our email template. And similar to what we did earlier, we're going to click on these items over here and start to edit this. So on the left, this email is already built for us, but we can add additional content if we'd like. So if, for example, if I was creating a piece from scratch, I would be clicking elements over here from the left. Like I could click an image and add that image box over here. Anywhere where I drop this, you'll see this green line. Woo, there's lots of spaces for this to go on here. So if I drop this here where this green line is, it's going to add in an image box. So I'm just going to cancel that and actually delete that. But I'm going to go based off what is already available for me, but I can add these additional content blocks if I'd like. So I can add in additional text, images, a button, legal header or footer, which is already here for me. Listing block, this is just going to be a little featured listing. I think it just has like the photo and maybe the address. Event block, you can add an event invitation or a video. But like I said, I just want to go through and build this listing here. So for these, I'm going to just click on these text boxes and start to edit this. So I want to change out this address. I'm going to click on the box here and then the pencil button. Now over to the right, this text box is going to appear. So I'm just going to type in my listing information. Oh, I think it was Ironwood Circle. So for these, the formatting is a little tricky. You will have to play around with it. But you can add in your text, you can change the font size. You can also add in any of these elements. I do want to point out that these are not working at this time. So anything like, for example, if we scroll down to the bottom of this listing, it says agent first name, last name with these little asterisks. That is supposed to generate from your marketing profile. So if you see text that looks like this, that means it's supposed to generate this information automatically for you on the email. You wouldn't have to edit this. But unfortunately at this time, it is not working. So if you are wanting to send out an email at this time, you will want to manually switch out this information as well. But let's just start up here at the top with the address. So I typed in the address. Now I'm going to click done, and it added in the address here. So I'm just going to move through and edit these. Let me go back to my other window and find the price, $324,800. So I'll click on this box here, edit the pencil, and then change the text. Again, I can change the font or the size or the alignment, things like that, but I typed in my text and I'm going to click done, and that updates right away. Same thing with the property details. I'll change out the bed, bath, and square feet. Click done. And you can see, like I said, the formatting can be a little funny at times. So you can see it added a space there. I'm going to see if I can get that out. There we go. So I changed out that text. Let's add in a photo. So I'm going to click image here. Same thing as before, I'll click on this pencil. We have a few options. You can see, first we need to replace this because this is a holder image. So I'm going to click replace. I have some images I previously uploaded. Now listing images, normally you would be able to just search for the listing here and pull up the listing images directly from KWLS. Listing images are not generating at this time, unfortunately. We're hoping that'll be back up soon. So for now, I'm going to add images from my computer. I already have those listing images saved, so now I can just browse my files and add in those photos here. So you can see I selected the photo from my computer. Now I need to select it here in this window. So it appeared here, I clicked on that photo and I will click replace. I can adjust the sizing, the border, things like that. I can also add a link. So if somebody clicks on this photo, I can have it linked to a landing page, a tag, or a web address. I'm going to add that in below. But I added in the photo, I'm going to click done, and that's now there. So I'm just going to add in these other photos really quickly. Same thing, click the pencil, replace. I'm going to add an image from my computer. Select that image and replace. And then done. So you can see there's a few steps, but you basically just follow the prompts. I'm just going to switch these out really quick so that we can get going and have this whole piece created. There we go. So now my photos, you can see now this is starting to look like an email. We have this being built. There's some text down here that we can switch out. I'm going to click on that pencil button again, and then I will pull up my listing over here. Now it was doing some funny things when I was copying and pasting earlier, so let's see. Ooh. Okay, let's see. It took away that box. So I'm going to paste this, and you can see it's formatting funny from that website. I'm just going to see what it does. Okay, that does not work. So you may need to type this into maybe like a word processor or something else, another window, just because when I'm copying and pasting directly from my website or from that website, KWLS, it's adding in this funky formatting. So I'm just going to hit cancel. And let's see, maybe if I just type it into like my address bar and copy from there. So like I said, you will have to kind of play around with this. There we go. So now that looks good. So I'm adding in some text. I'll click done. That looks good. Let me add in the second part of this property description here. Again, just clicking the pencil and pasting in the text. Clicking done. Again, I can change the fonts, the size. I can generate this information here. But there we go. So now this is starting to look like an email. There's a view listing button here. We will want to edit this because if somebody receives this email, we want to link them to a landing page so we can hopefully capture their information. So I'm going to click view listing and edit this button by clicking the pencil. I can change the text if I wanted to, if I wanted this to say like click here to view listing, something like that. Ooh, and it is listed or limited to 25 characters, but you can change that if you'd like. So I could say like view listing here. And now we need to say where this is going to link to. So under link, we can choose a landing page. Maybe you have a landing page already created in Command for this. You can select one of your landing pages from your account. I'm just going to link back to the web address. So I have this listing pulled up here on the agent's website. So I'm going to link there. So now when somebody gets this email and they click view listing or view listing here, they will be brought to this web address. I can adjust this button as well. I can change the font, the sizing, I can change the color. I'll go with a nice like KW red, make it rounded. And there we go. I've edited this. I'll click done, and that has updated. Now down toward the bottom, this information is going to pull from your marketing profile. So the download my app, that's going to pull from your marketing profile and all of this information. Like I said though, at this exact moment, this info is not generating. So you may want to go through and just manually update this text if you are wanting to send this out right away. But when this is resolved, all of this info, or anything with these little asterisks, that'll pull over automatically. So this looks good to me for now. I'm going to update the design name up at the top left. So I'll say Ironwood for sale email. That has saved. And now I'm going to click save. Doesn't hurt to save as many times as possible just so you don't lose your work. So I'll click save and exit. So now what this should do is it's going to plug this into my email. So I've gone through all of these steps on the left, and I can see my email over here on the right. So you can see, unfortunately, this footer information is not updating automatically. So you'll want to go through and manually update that if you're wanting to use this now. But like I said, updates are supposed to be coming out, I believe, tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that, and hopefully this will be resolved then. But at the top, you have a couple different options. You can preview this to see what it'll look like on different screens. So if somebody's looking at this on a computer, it'll look like this. I think that looks pretty nice, but you can see what it looks like on a tablet or on a phone as well. You can send a test email to yourself. Always a good idea to test this out first. You can schedule this to go out to your database at a specific time. You can send it right now, or you can save it as a draft. So I'll just go ahead and save this as a draft, save and exit, and that'll be displayed down below. And then once this actually does go out, you can see the date, how many views, clicks, and bounces it received. So that is actually it for today. Thank you guys for watching our class on marketing today. There are some holiday pieces. They're not email pieces though. Somebody asked about email or holiday pieces. There are some holiday pieces in the design section, but they're for social media. There aren't holiday email pieces yet, but you can take those elements of those social media pieces or even print flyers and then manually put them in, like upload an image to the email pieces, and you can send them out that way. So thank you guys again for watching our class today. I do want to go ahead and pull up our website so you can see our contact information. If I didn't get to your questions today or you have further questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Our phone number and our email address are here. We are here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. So please let us know if there's anything else we can assist with. If not, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.